the age of 19, I was studying my third year engineering and I was clueless about what I'm going to do and where I'm going to settle, what kind of profession or career I'm going to get into. And I was also clueless about whether to pursue my master's, whether to pursue what kind of technical courses and so on. But we have a special guest today, Mr. Sai Kiran Appalla, who is a young entrepreneur. Just at the age of 19, he created a platform named Scope, which is supporting startup ecosystem. Let us find out more about his entrepreneurial journey and how he is helping over hundreds of startups through his venture Scope. This is the Guiding Voice podcast series, the Guiding Voice for a Better Future. Friends, I am your host Navin Samala, just a fellow professional on a mission to make the world a better place to live. Through the Guiding Voice, we drive conversations that matter and conversations that add value to your life and to your career. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Sai, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice. I'm super excited to host you today. I'm feeling so energized.
Thank you so much, Naveen. I'm really excited to be on the podcast.
All right, so let's dive into the conversation, Sai. And I was going through your story on LinkedIn, and you have achieved so many things just at the age of 19. I'm wondering what you would do in the next 5 to 10 years. And I wish more power to you. And on this note, I would also like to thank Kavita Garla, one of my friends who has recommended to host you on this show, because most of my friends know about my passion in terms of bringing talented people to this show so that these guys people like you will inspire our audience. And on that note, I would like to thank Kavita Garla. Let's move ahead and talk about the top 3 things that have attributed to your success so far. So you are just 19, but you have already built your own startup and you're supporting fellow startups and the entire ecosystem, right? So what contributed to your success so far?
If I have to put it in 3 points, keep learning, stay humble, don't be afraid to make mistakes. 3 points in short, because obviously we all are starting off something new or the other in different phases of life, right? It's not just compulsory you're starting at the age of a young age. You might be starting something new at the age of 45, 50, anytime, right? Just the thing is, you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. A lot of people are always, right? What will other people think? Really don't care. Right? If I succeed, the other people are going to say congratulations. If I fail, they're going to say you shouldn't have done that. So at the some way or the other, you're going to get something or the other from the other people that you claim. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Stay humble. Success is like, what I can say, it's like, what is the word? Success, it's very easy to get intoxicated with success, right? What I can say. It's pretty easy to get intoxicated with success, but if you want to maintain that success, you really never should acknowledge it, right? Really never acknowledge success, just, casually, sometimes to make you feel good for yourself, just tell, okay, I've done something, just to keep the energy up, but that's only it. Don't let it come more close to you, otherwise you're going to destroy your path. And thirdly is, keep learning, always keep an open mind. Many people say that you might not have things to learn from so and so, but what I always believe is that there's always one quality that you can learn from a person. Identify the quality and learn it, no matter what. So there's always that one quality you can learn from everyone. So just try to identify it. That's all.
Wonderful. And Sai, I think you're at the age of 19 and you're still pursuing your undergrad, and it's been 2 years that you started your entrepreneurial journey. So what are some of the toughest lessons that you have learned in the last 2 years, which you have not anticipated?
That my school and college did not contribute anything. I have paid something. I have paid a lot of money for something that really, that really adds a very little value. Okay, I'll be honest with her, right? A school and college teaches you stuff. Teaches you rotation. It does not help you imagine. School and college should actually enable the fact that, it should make students feel free about failing. But schools and colleges don't. If you feel, these are the consequences. It's like the guy is scared before even trying. So that is another thing. So, and when I came into entrepreneurship, it was a big hit for me. Like, real world is completely different from what people think it is. Like, my friends think the real world is this. And when I came into this, I was pretty shocked how things work. And I was really into the dilemma that, what goes on in colleges? What are they actually teaching? Because if I come out of college, I'm in a whole different college of life where it's going to teach you, it's going to bash you, it's going to do everything. So there are these confusions. And start at the starting, not many people know, but recently I wrote a post about it also. When I started off, I was rejected by 100 VCs. I was rejected by at least 100 VCs, and I felt really low. But later, I got backed by Giga Fund, which is a venture fund of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. Then I got a check from Microsoft. Yeah, from there the growth started. Now I run a team of 40 people.
Wow!
So that's practically it. So what the biggest hit for me has always been what real life is and what college life is. Like, both are different.
Excellent. Your journey is quite inspiring, and you have unfolded the truth. In fact, many people think what we see, the outside glory is the same thing, but outside glory is different from what real life is. Wonderful. And in this entrepreneurial journey, what is the biggest challenge that you have faced as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome with it?
Well, as an entrepreneur, obviously, coping up with failures has been the biggest problem with me. I've obviously found it tough to, handle rejections at the beginning because I really did not know the mechanism to cope with it. I really did not know why I was being rejected, or is there a reason, or if I went to ask a reason, I would get shunned, right? So I really didn't know the reason. So when I don't know the reason for something, why it is happening, that is the biggest challenge for me, because that is happening to me, but I don't know why it is. And at the early stages, that was the problem. But now when I turn back and look, now everybody sees, right? Now all the partnerships that I have with 20,000 angel investors, 40 VCs, so 200 startups plus I've helped funded. And now recently we have partnered with HSBC Bank on a $250 million startup fund. So with all this right now, everybody sees this, but at the starting, I had the same fear, the same amount of confusion. I did not know reasons for a lot of them. So the challenge was basically, being able to cope up with the rejections as well as, understanding the reason why I was being rejected.
Wonderful. I think these are all some practical thoughts that we are discussing, and which is extremely meaningful. And with that, let's move ahead and talk about the Scope app, right? What inspired you to become an entrepreneur at such an young age, and how did you come up with the idea for Scope app? And briefly talk about what Scope app, how Scope app is supporting the startup ecosystem.
Okay, so I'll take the first question. What inspired me to go with the Scope app? Obviously, startup ecosystem is one of the most creative spaces, right? It's one of the most creative spaces, and the most talented people come into the space. And it's really interesting to be part of this ecosystem. I'm privileged also, I might say. I'm privileged also to be part of such an ecosystem where people are creative, brainstorming, hustling. It's just amazing, the vibrance. But the journeys of these people are pretty tough. Okay, people have to wait to network. Like, a networking event has to come up for people to network, or sometimes people pay 8,000, 9,000 rupees to go to such an event to network. I am like, why do you have to pay so much to go to something which can be done free of cost? It is the age of social media, right? It is the age of technology. If you're claiming AI is here and you still are waiting for an event to network, something is wrong, obviously. So I figured out the pain points people had in this ecosystem, and that was a big encouragement for me. I really need to solve this problem, and I started out with developing this idea into an app and making it an invite only app, because just to avoid the spam rate, and just to help those startups actually who need our help. Otherwise, it's a problem to actually filter out, right? And VCs also don't like getting spammed, investors. So just to avoid that scenario, we actually made it invite only. And what we basically do is we help startups network, scale, raise funding, get mentors, all this. There are a lot of services that we provide and startups utilize. And as I mentioned, until now, we have helped more than 200 startups raise funding. We are backed by Microsoft, Giga Fund. So there are a couple of things. And the biggest inspiration, as I've told, have been my parents. So I always consider this startup journey, startup founder's journey is no less than a parent's journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to invest everything you have.
Yeah.
Like legit, you have to invest whatever you have, and you at the end won't know the result, how the kid is going to turn out. The kid might be good, the kid might be bad, he might be whatever you might not imagine. But it's
Right.
just like a bet, or you're putting in the trust, whole faith you're putting in that it will do justice. It's same for a startup founder. Startup founder has to put in everything they have, and they won't know the startup is successful or not.
Right. Yeah. Great analogy. I loved it. Good one.
You.
And what is the name? What is the reason behind naming it as Scope? SCOPE. Is that an abbreviation or what is that?
No, there's no abbreviation. So the main reason why I named it Scope is, well, there is always scope for any startup, right? There's always, it's a land of opportunities. Come on. Startup is a land of opportunities. So that's why I named it Scope. When you come on Scope, the opportunities for startups become endless. That's why there is always scope. So that is what is the main idea.
Got it. And now let's talk about your experience at Draper University and the Microsoft Startup Founders Hub, right? Has it impacted the growth and development of Scope app in any way?
Absolutely. So Microsoft has helped me grow Scope in terms of monetary wise, as well as technical expertise that Microsoft has to offer in scaling of my app. And Draper University has definitely helped me grow as an entrepreneur by teaching all the required lessons, by learning from experienced founders, and how to manage success. Because many founders who enter into the startup ecosystem, they're great, they're amazing, but mentorship is something that really needs to be focused in the ecosystem, right? Having a mentor who can keep you grounded, who can point a finger at you when you're doing something wrong. Because I am lucky to have such mentors. They will slap the taste out of my mouth if I do something wrong. I'm sure for that. If I'm going somewhere wrong and I'm still adamant, they will definitely, point it out. But having a mentor is pretty much crucial, and that's what Draper has done to me. And growing my startup is something Microsoft has really helped me out with.
Super. Okay, now let's move ahead and talk about some of the important skills that you have developed as an entrepreneur. And how are these skills helping you to succeed in various initiatives?
As an entrepreneur, well, entrepreneur's journey teaches a lot of stuff. I wouldn't tell any specific technical skills, while obviously it has improved my soft skills, team management skills. Like at the age of 19, nobody thought I'll run a company of 40 people, but it's obviously helped me manage my soft skills, team management skills, as well as it has taught me how the real world works, actually. How the real world works. And well, it has also taught me humbleness. It has also taught me, how to stay grounded. It has also helped me meet a lot of amazing people. So overall, what I can say is, as an entrepreneur, I have a lot to learn. But as a human, what I feel is the startup ecosystem has really helped me feel humble. Because the moment you feel in startup ecosystem, oh, you're doing something awesome, there's somebody or the other coming out of somewhere who's going to do much more amazing stuff than you, and you just can't avoid looking at the journey. You just want to keep looking at the journey. So, that humbleness is something that startup has definitely taught me.
Superb. And how does this Scope app aim to create equal economic opportunities for the underrepresented founders? And what impact do you hope to have in this area?
This is something I really care about a lot, right? Equal economic opportunity for everyone, right? As I started off my journey at 17, not many people considered me, serious for money. but that was something really important at that time. But I faced challenge with it, and I really look forward, and we are working also on that right now. I definitely personally work with those founders who are underrepresented. I personally help them network with investors, suitable investors, and I help them get any resource that will add value to their journey. And down the line, I definitely see scope enabling a lot of underrepresented founders to grow their startups, because when we are in the age of resources, like you have all the resources at your disposal, there shouldn't be any classification like female founder, teenage founder, underrepresented founder. Everybody's a founder. There is no teenage founder, there's no female founder, there is no underrepresented founder. Everybody should be a founder in that chart. Everybody's equal. Everybody has the same strength.
Wow.
So that is what Scope looks forward to enable.
Great. I think it's all about diversity and giving an equal opportunity and treating everybody with fair practices.
Absolutely.
Superb. And I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation so far. And let's add some spice to the episode as well, Sai. I'm going to kick off a quick rapid fire round with some interesting questions. Are you ready for it?
Sure. Let's go.
Let's go for it. Okay. So here comes the first question. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
So it would definitely never give up. Even Google was rejected by venture capitalists.
Profound. Let's move to the next one. If you were to act in a movie remake, which character would you choose?
Tough one. Not much of a movie guy.
Okay.
Could I mention this one web series that I used to watch?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Web series or even cartoon character, anything is okay.
Okay. So there is this web series known as Suits, in which Harvey Specter, Mike Ross, and all of that. So I would definitely like to, be Harvey Specter in that series.
Okay. Good one. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
One word. Yeah. Student.
Fabulous. And what is the weirdest thing that you have ever eaten so far?
Weirdest thing I've ever eaten. Well, once my dad went to Japan and he came back, so he got me lollipop. But later I figured out that lollipop had scorpion in it. So that was the weirdest experience for me.
Did it taste sweet or any other?
I don't recall the taste. I'm going to puke.
Wow, quite interesting. And what is your favorite cartoon character, Sai?
My favorite cartoon character? I'll go with Shin-chan.
Shin-chan. Okay, and last one for rapid fire. What is one electronic gadget that you would like to invent or see?
Invent or see? Definitely it would be ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, next version of ChatGPT?
I definitely like to see that. I know it was more of an electronic device, but I am more interested into, I would definitely like to reinvent and see the whole process of how ChatGPT was formed. So definitely, that would be really curious for me.
Okay, interesting. And that was a great rapid fire. With that, let's flip back to the mainstream. And what is one piece of advice you have for other young entrepreneurs who want to make it big?
I wouldn't just say young entrepreneurs. Like, if everybody would consider my advice over here, I would definitely like to give one suggestion, that obviously we all are in the age of social media. Like, we all are part of the generation of LinkedIn generation as well as Instagram generation. In Instagram, everyone's life is beautiful, and in LinkedIn, everyone's life is successful. I mean, nobody's life can be as successful as LinkedIn's life is. So don't fall into that trap looking into social media, or in the don't think that everybody's successful, everybody's life is beautiful, perfect, looking at Instagram or LinkedIn. Nobody's 100% successful. Everybody's hustling, everybody's working, everybody's trying to make it, right? And in Instagram also, nobody's life is that beautiful, nobody's life is that perfect. There are always problems in everyone's life. You just have to be honest to yourself, be humble, be ready to learn from anyone. That's all.
Be honest, be humble, and be ready to learn from anyone and everyone. Superb. Fabulous. And how has been your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform?
Well, honestly, it is wonderful. Many times it's just knowledge or gyan everybody asks, but over here the difference is we add little fun, we add knowledge, we share our journeys, and it feels good. Also, because the person who I hope is hearing it on the other end has fun, and is enjoying our journey, is able to relate with our journeys. So definitely it's one medium that we all look forward to be a part of. And thank you for hosting me today. It's just been amazing.
Yep. Thanks for the kind words, and really appreciate you joining me today. Thanks for all the amazing insights, as well as thanks for your time, Sai. Really appreciate it, and look forward to hosting you again in future.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, folks, that was our episode with Sai Kiran Appalla. And before we move into the trivia section, here is a request to you. Please subscribe to us in case if you haven't done already. Also, if you have loved this episode and found the conversation useful, request you to share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who can benefit from the Guiding Voice. Thank you so much in advance. So, folks, today's trivia is about loans applied by entrepreneurs. 59% of the entrepreneurs who applied for a loan did so to expand. And this is based on the statistics provided by Federal Reserve Banks. And the Federal Reserve Banks carried out some research in 2018 and discovered that 59% of the entrepreneurs who applied for a loan did so to expand, whereas 43% of business owners used loans to cover operating expenses, and with about 36% taking out loans to refinance other loans to secure the future of their businesses. Sounds interesting, isn't it? So, folks, if you have come across any young entrepreneur like Sai Kiran Appalla, please share their details with me through social media, or you can email me. And also, do not share your topic recommendations or any other guest speaker suggestions through social media, or email me at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, just a fellow professional and a passionate learner on a mission to make the world a better place to live through conversations that matter and conversations that add value to your life and to your career. Until next time, bye-bye. Signing off for now. See you all in the next episode with another wonderful guest.